The Art of Relationships radio show is copyrighted. No one is to use any part of the show without express written consent from myself, Greg Dudzinski, or the Art of Relationships. Thank you.
Welcome to the Art of Relationships radio show. Greg welcomes live calls from listeners in helping with numerous marital and relationship problems. There will be no more tit-for-tat arguments. Greg gets to the root of couples' challenges in a rapid, matter-of-fact format, plus applies compassion and humor. Join in discovering how to improve your relationship and your own life. Listen, laugh, and climax. Greg is a licensed professional counselor in the state of Michigan. To others, he's simply known as Detroit's Love Guru.
Hey everybody, welcome. I took last week off for the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Let me clear my throat a little bit. Excuse me. Allergies are kicking up a little bit, and my voice is going through puberty again. So welcome to Hump Night. This is the Art of Relationships radio show. If this is the first time you've caught the show, welcome. A huge, warm gratitude to you for showing up. Hopefully I can provide some insights into your relationship, marriage, or like tonight, maybe into your sex life as well. Not only that, trying to help maybe increase your sense of self, your confidence level, emotional confidence, also physical and sexual confidence, that you get away from taboos, or maybe you are still, say, 40 years old and you still have taboos about certain sexual acts or certain body image aspects, and trying to look at those issues and trying to reduce those so you feel a lot more comfortable and you can sort of embrace your sexuality and embrace the sensuality that hopefully sex brings to you, okay? Now, we are going to talk about, maybe we're going to get into a little bit of man bashing tonight, okay? So ladies, I want to hear it from you ladies. And how many women have been there where, men, do men actually really get it? And talking about the title of the show, do men really get it sexually speaking? And we are going to have a little bit of fun this evening, hopefully a lot of fun. Going to be some seriousness, and of course, some joking around, as always, on the Art of Relationships radio show. And people can check out my website, theartofrelationships.org. And I got, I'm clearing my throat. My, what can I say? My allergies are acting up a little bit, so my throat, I'm going to be clearing my throat, hopefully not throughout the whole show. Hey, Jeannie, what's in the house? Christine, you're in the house. You can help by going on a date with me. I'm sorry I am involved, but thank you. I'm flattered. I appreciate that. But now I'm blushing all over the place. I'm still flattered, but thank you. We are going to look at the situation where men, do you really get it, sexually speaking, okay? Meaning, a lot of women, they say they want their man to take control in bed. What does that mean to you ladies? And do you think men really get it when you mean, take control? Do you think they get it, or what does that mean to men, and what does it mean to you? And everybody is different when it comes to that. Yeah, I want my man to take charge in bed. And all of a sudden he's coming over there, sort of smacking you around a little bit, sort of ripping your clothes off, and he's pounding you rough, right? Yeah, I'm going to take charge. Is that what you want, women? A lot of times men might, misconstrued about rough sex. They're rough sex, and their definition, I'm a man too, definition of rough sex, does that mean, it's a little bit, their view, how can I say it? Maybe rough sex in their eyes is maybe, like a 2, but you're thinking that's too rough, and it's like over the top of 10, way too rough for you ladies. And we're talking about, communication, and men, do you just poundy and thinking women get off, right? The faster I go, the harder I thrust. Yeah, she's gonna love it. I'm gonna roll her eyes in the frickin' back of her head, curl her toes, and yeah, her eyes are gonna be rolling in the back of her head because frickin' you're killing her, So there's a huge difference between, rough sex, rough play, what women want and what men look at as far as, the differentiation, if you will, between those attitudes, okay? Shauna, hey, welcome. Sometimes he wants us to take charge. You know what? Absolutely. Now, Shauna, I want to hit on, sometimes he wants us to take charge. I'm all for that. I want the woman to take charge too. You know what? I want her to rip my clothes off, have her way with me, and treat me like the slut that I am. No, I'm sort of teasing a little bit. Maybe not. But do you look at the situation where, we do want women to take charge too, but talking about men, Shauna, I want to, when you say you want it, rough, and a lot of men don't get that. Rougher sex does not mean that you are frickin' trying to reach her throat through her vagina, if you know what I mean. You're literally not trying to put her through a brick wall by force, okay? A lot of women don't want that. There might be some women out there that love that, okay? But a lot of women might like it more, slower and softer than what you think. And a guy's definition of soft sex might be a woman's definition of rough sex. And I know it's very subjective, it's very individualistic, and trying to get you on the same page so you can learn from each other. And the guy that thinks he is banging you hard, ladies out there, really, isn't doing anything for you whatsoever, okay? They are not looking at what the hell they're doing. They're thinking they're, knocking your boots off, giving you orgasms left and right. And they are, let's face it, they are hurting you, they are chafing you, they are bruising your pubic bone, and we all know that's not a pleasant feeling for you ladies, right? So you look at the situation to where, what do you do in those situations, and how can you sort of clue your man in, okay? Now, give me a call. I want to hear from you ladies too, or men even, if you think you really got it going on. You know what? Maybe your woman's afraid to tell you, you really don't have it on, because they don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want to bruise your ego. And I'm all about women, you need to be honest. You need to be open. And, on shows long time ago when I talked about, female orgasms and women being pleased, I tell women you should never, ever, ever fake an orgasm. That does you no good. It does him no good either. You know what? You need to be open, you need to be honest, and hopefully be able to jive and gel together and work together to be able to, so he hits that spot. And as you also know, ladies, if you don't know how to give yourself an orgasm, you can't expect him, right? You might by chance get an orgasm by him, but I always promote that you need to be able to give yourself an orgasm so you can teach him what feels good to you. Now, it's trial and error, and that could take a long time, which is okay. Most guys out there are very patient and very, they want to keep practicing, right? So, we look at, Shauna, okay. Talking about, it's nice, no, I didn't miss a call. Sorry, people. Shauna, you mentioned it's nice to have a man grab us and really just make us feel like he enjoys us. Now, I love that comment, Shauna, and that's really good. There's a big difference between just going through the motions and being, just grab you and want to rip your clothes off and throw you up against the wall, but that doesn't mean to throw you through the wall. That doesn't mean, he's going to try to pound you into the next city. Big, big difference, right? And men, if you want to do, harder, or your woman's in the mood to do it harder, maybe more firmer, your woman has to tell you, or they should tell you, and if they don't tell you, shame on them, that they need to tell you that women need to be aroused, highly, horned up, big time aroused, to be able to have more rougher sex, okay? It's just how it works. And women need to tell your man and be able to direct him. You know what? You need to go softer. A man might be still trying to, instead of frickin' knocking you into the next city, softer. So now instead of next city, he's trying to frickin' knock you a mile down the street, and that's still too rough. You need to be able to educate your guy what you like, and are you able to do that? And like I said, you need to get rid of the insecurities, or maybe the angst, if you will, about talking to your guy and hurting his feelings, or you know what, that you're going to piss him off, and that's on him. I want the men out there to know that you need to be confident enough to say, what can I do to be a better lover for you? What can I do to be better sensually? And what does sensual mean to you? Is it caressing? A lot of times, I sort of joke around with clients and everything that, a woman, I want my man to be sensual, and all of a sudden the man is like, oh yeah, baby, I'm all sensual, all over the place, instead of the gentle fingertips and, just a gentle guiding. And I also try to embrace the idea of women, can you rub your fingers maybe on the man and how you want to be touched? The gentler touch. Maybe at times when you're fully aroused, more aroused, ladies, you might want it a little firmer. You might want maybe your breasts grabbed a little firmer, your nipples tweaked or pulled. Everybody is different, right? And trying to get men on the same page with, talked about men watching porn and all this stuff, and I bring up, I use, if people want to use porn, that's fine, no big deal, right? I tell them, can you learn from it about, you have to get the realistic aspects of porn, right? Their camera angles, things are done just for the viewer's pleasure. It's not realistic, okay? But you can learn. You can learn from it. I want to try this position. I want to try this. You might not like it, but you need to be open to not liking it and not hurting your man's feelings and saying, I don't really like this. This is uncomfortable for me, but I don't want to bring it up because he loves it. You know what? He needs to respect you, respect your body, ladies, and you need to be able to come forward and admit and be open with what pleases you and what doesn't. I want you ladies out there to own your sexuality and own your pleasure. And if you don't know what pleases you, how can your man do without that trial and error? And that could take a long time, okay? And see if we got any money. We look at, hey, Noir, welcome. It's been a while. Shauna mentioned, don't throw me into the wall. And Shauna mentioned fake. What? Why fake it? You need to understand your body enough to know how. Absolutely, Shauna, I agree. And that's what I promote. You need to know your body, ladies, what feels good. And this goes for men too. But of course, you know what? This is for women and, empowering women to tell their man what pleases them and to be able to empower women to have the confidence within themselves to say, what, I deserve to be pleased. I don't have to tolerate bad sex. I don't have to tolerate, painful sex at all. And we know we can get into vaginismus, female pain disorder, those type of aspects. We're not talking about that. We're talking, if you are not, don't have those sexual pain issues, ladies, we're talking about, where men really hurt you. And there's, I could tell you stories over the years I've come across where women have been in the hospital where they had to have, unfortunately, their cervix removed. And, of course, with that, their uterus removed from being, pounded so hard. It's not painful. It's very bruising, especially with guys that are a lot more well-endowed. Instead of us guys like me that's hung like a gerbil. But you look at the situation, to be able to look at, the sensuality of sex, and you need to be able to guide your man into, what pleases you, and you need to be able to guide him. You know what, this is too rough, slow it down. Yeah, baby, that feels good, and all that aspect. Noir, I wish I could join you guys in this conversation, but I'm at work. But I will review the session later. You guys rock. Oh, Noir, thank you. And I know I want to thank Shauna for bringing you to viewing the show months ago. So thank you, Shauna, for that. Noir, thank you for chiming in, and I appreciate that. And if you're at work, maybe they'll enjoy the show too, Noir, depending what type of work you do. I don't want to get you fired or get you in trouble by any means. Okay. Noir, you mentioned, for me, depends on both of us' mood. I agree, Noir, good point. I tried to, maybe I didn't say that clear enough, that it does. I said women might want it a little more rougher, breast pulled, caress more rougher, when women are highly, highly aroused, horny, wet, all that aspect. Where, you know what, we all have different degrees of arousal, and I agree, and that's a great point you brought up, Noir, that for me, you know, it depends on both of us' mood. I agree, big time. But personally, like it's soft and gentle and genital, and porn is not educational in my opinion. But sex is an art you need to explore and master by your self-education. Noir, I agree. When I mentioned about porn is not educational in your opinion, I agree with that, and I understand where you're coming from. But it's talking about, you know what, can you do different positions, different styles? That's what I said about education, about trying different things. It doesn't mean, you know, if a porn star is pounding another female that you have to pound that way. I'm looking more about, you know, maybe styles, maybe positions, not necessarily the actual ramming, those aspects. But Noir, you brought up a great point, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, and thank you for chiming in. We're looking at, oh, Michelle, Gina, welcome. Michelle, you mentioned, oh, Greg, I can make your herbal grow, baby, yummy. What the hell? All these women are, I think they're all frustrated or horny. Gina's laughing. Now, in talking about the attitude and the situation about, I want to know, when you want your man to take control, okay, what the hell do you mean by that? Shauna mentioned sometimes, you know what, I agree. I want my lady to take control, you know, and sort of, you know, start kissing me all over, rip my clothes off, and I want to take control at times too. It depends, of course, our energy levels, our mood. There's a lot of things that go into it. And if my lady wanted me to maybe take control, be more, whatever, assertive, aggressive, she needs to tell me. Hint, hint. But we look at the situation to where, you know, what works and what doesn't work. And you look at, now, when I say, you know, a lot of ladies want their man to take control, meaning, you know what, take control about, you know what, maybe he needs to take control how you want to be touched, and he needs to learn from you, ladies. So is it one of those things, can a guy take control sexually in the bedroom without your permission? There's a difference. And can he take control if he doesn't know how to please you or how you want to be pleased? So it's one of those things. You want the guy to take control of you, and it's not in a disrespectful manner. And that's where a lot of guys come into play. They come into having the attitude where, you know, yeah, she wants me to take control, so I'm going to rip her hair out. I'm just going to lead her, you know, grab her, you know, breasts and frickin' rip her to the bedroom by her breasts, by her nipple. And that isn't necessarily what women mean by taking control. Taking control meaning, like Shauna, I think, mentioned this a little bit ago, taking control is, you know what, that I'm taking control to show you I desire you by how I, you know, sort of assertively grab you and touch you and caress you, and how I assertively want to kiss you and rip your clothes off, or maybe gentle and slower, as Noir mentioned earlier. And I agree, a lot of women, even men, they might like, you know, the slower, the gentle, the more sensational, emotional sex. And it tends to be a lot more pleasurable, believe it or not, for both women and men. Yeah, there are times, and we can get into, you know, there are times when we're in a mood where we look at the situation to where, a quickie. I mentioned that at the beginning of the show. Maybe you're both in the mood, you're horned up, whatever, and you don't have that much time. The kid's taking a nap, or maybe you're having a nooner, both meeting for lunch somewhere, and you do a quickie. You're both hot and heavy, want a quickie. That's great at times, right? And other times, you know what? But you don't want quickies all the time, right, ladies? How many ladies out there want their guy to be quick all the time, just like a rapid, you know, and just pound you like a rabbit and be done and over with, you know what? And teach your man, you know, a lot of men take control, all of a sudden they're taking control, ramming you, and all of a sudden the sensuality is out of the window. Men can take control of you, ladies, as you know, or maybe you don't know. They can still take control and charge in the bedroom and still be sensual. They can take control and be deliberately how they kiss you, how they touch you, how they lick you, and still be sensual and loving and emotionally connected at the same time, ladies. And how many ladies know where I'm coming from, okay? Oh, gerbil. I get, okay. Communication is key, Gina. I agree, absolutely. Communication is huge, and it's sad how many couples I deal with on a weekly basis that they've been together for 20, 25 years that, you know what, they don't talk. One's afraid, you know what, I'm afraid to say what I want because of maybe, you know, childhood abuse, sexual abuse, rape. I might think, you know what, if I say what I want, I might think I'm bad or overly needy and being selfish because how we're raised. Not at all. I want women and I want men. There's some men out there that feel, you know what, I can't say anything either because I want to be a giver and it can't be about me. And some people, when they're givers, they freak out when people want to please them. When it's about them, they can't handle it and they get a little bit anxiety. You know what, this is about me, and they try to throw it back on their partner instead of, you know what, enjoying it and going with the flow that, you know what, I have a right to be pleased and desired. And some men, you know what, some men need to sort of help their ladies be okay with being pleased, okay? And some men need to understand, you know what, it's not all about you ramming them. It's also about, you know what, you ramming your ladies isn't going to be that pleasurable to your lady. Once in a while, yes. Now and then, change it up a little bit, absolutely. But there's other things that you can do, the touching, the kissing, the emotional connection. Maybe men need to learn to ride a little higher on the pelvic bone or the cat, Kyoto, I can't even talk now, alignment technique, sorry about that, people, where you can, you know, be more sensual and slower and more grinding, where it gets more on, you know, the clit area or, you know, higher up on the genital, the female genital regions. Not only that, or how many women, you know, do you want your guy inside you while you play with yourself, ladies? How many people love that? And a lot of guys get turned on by that, why he's, you know, inside of you, or, you know what, you're on top of him while you're playing with yourself. And, you know what, it's not about men just ramming you and men being, you know, taking control and being, you know, in charge. There's a difference between that and then being more barbaric about it. I don't know a better word than I can come up with that, about, you know, men being barbaric, and that's their equivalent. Yeah, I'm going to take charge. I'm going to be in command sexually like she wants. And he has no clue what she really wants, what she needs, and how she wants to feel. And ladies, you need to instruct your man. And if your man doesn't want to learn, you know what, then maybe you're with the wrong partner. And I say that often. And you know what, if he doesn't want to learn and to be taught, you want to be with somebody that is willing to be taught the way you want to be pleased. And this, I'm not being gender biased and bashing just us men. This goes for the men too, within reason. And again, you don't want to do anything sexually that is disrespectful to your partner, that is against their taboo, big time, and that is against their essence, their values, or morals, okay, people? You don't want to sell yourselves out and just try to do something. You know what? You're in a lot of pain, ladies, and you know what? You're just dealing with it because he likes it. You know what? If he knows you're in pain and and knows you hate it and he still loves it and still does it, that dude's disrespecting you big time, okay? And you might he might need to come and talk to me, or, you know what, if he's unwilling to do that, then you might need to dismiss his ass and promote self-love and self-respect for yourself, okay? Shauna, you mentioned so many make sex taboo. I agree. In a committed relationship, sex is open as long as both parties agree and are comfortable. I agree, Shauna. And it's ironic how many couples that have been together for years that are still uncomfortable. I had a new couple in here this morning or early afternoon. You know, they're together. You know, sex, they say, is fine. It's good with some aspects. You know, really good. But there's some things neither one of them knew about the other. And they've been together for 25 years because they're afraid to share things with each other. They're afraid to hurt each other's feelings. And I get that. But here, you're afraid to hurt her feelings. You're afraid to hurt his feelings, and you both are carrying on this way where you can be more pleasurable in bed when it comes to sex. And not only the sexual acts, but the whole emphasis of sex, the emotional, the soulful connection, along with the physical connection, big time, okay? And ladies, I'm going to take a little break, and we're going to talk about how many women are in sort of comparison mode, and how many women get into a comparison mode when it talks about sex, okay, with men. Past partners, current partners, and we know, ladies, you like to compare a lot of things out there, and we're going to get into that after we take a break, okay? Thank you for listening. Don't go anywhere. We're still going to be live. Going to play a quick song, let my voice sort of settle a little bit and rest, and then I'll be back live. This is the Art of Relationships radio show, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Thanks for listening, people. And oh, I almost forgot. Show the live video. Show the video on your timeline, on your Facebook timeline, and you will have a chance to win my book. I still have some with the older cover. I just updated the cover. I don't have those yet. They're out for sale, of course, but I don't have any with me to give away. But it's the same book, just the older cover. I'm going to give those away, 3 of them. So share this video for a chance to win a free copy of that book, okay? And I'll be back in a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're still live, okay?
Waking up, kissing the floor of a bathroom stall. This isn't any way to live, no, not at all. And every one of these kids is so original. Way too nights I would just and I can barely pull off the standard tux. Why would I need to worry about it when I do it all again every night? As someone else, crashing parties, raising hell. Maybe I should get some help. Start to call myself the great pretender. Before you tell me why you remember when we used to stand for something more than this. I always think it's happy, yeah, but after it's a complete disaster. Till another name is born from your lips. Oh, when did I become so cynical? When did you become so lyrical? If only the ice beneath my ribs would crack. That's my black eye, I'm stuck, I guess. I didn't know bad luck could wear a dress. I meant I hate you when I said wish you the best. But I'm a whore, guess they mention it. I'll trip down for your attention, and I'll be stuck here in suspension. Start to call myself the great pretender. Before you tell me why you remember when we used to stand for something more than this. I always think it's happy, yeah, but after it's a complete disaster. Till another name is born from your lips. So give me a sign now that this is alright now. It's all black and white now, but I just want it right now. So give me a sign now that I'm still alive now. I start to call myself the great pretender. Before you tell me why you remember when you used to stand for something more than this. I always think it's happy, yeah, but after it's a complete disaster. Till another name is born from your lips. Start to call myself the great pretender. Before you tell me why you remember when you used to stand for something more than this. I always think it's happy, yeah, but after it's a complete disaster. Till another name is born from your lips.
Hey people, we are back. Well, I'm back live. Let me get rid of the picture. There we go. I'm back live. talking about, this is the Art of Relationships radio show, live every Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can check out all my information on my website, theartofrelationships.org, and it's under resources about the radio show and everything else, okay? And I want to, again, a huge thank you to everybody that is showing up here, watching the show for the first time. I definitely appreciate that. My passion, of course, is to help you improve your own lives as individuals, and absolutely to help you have the relationship you've always craved, okay? And it's sort of cool, too. I'm actually, next show is going to be sponsored by Astroglide, the makers of Astroglide, the lube. So it's going to be cool. They are going to sponsor 3 episodes, 2 in January and 1 next Wednesday night. So it'll be cool, and hopefully we're going to get together and they're going to have some maybe promotions and coupons that I can provide for the viewers and everything out there to try to kick up, of course, their sales. And Astroglide is not a bad product at all. It's actually a pretty good product out there. So going back to talking about, you know what, do men really get it? Speaking about sex with you ladies out there, okay? Now, not only that, do you look at the situation to where, women are in competition, right? A lot. Or should I say comparison might be a better choice of words I should use, okay? Do you compare past lovers with men and everything else? And women will tell their man, no, we don't. No, we don't. But I hate to tell you this, ladies. You know what? Most men know you're lying, or the guy is just maybe not with it, maybe not that aware, or maybe that gullible. So when you're talking about sexual speaking, with men and ladies, we know you compare a lot of things. Or I try to teach men that, but you know what? Compare me. You know what? I don't care. I want to be the best you ever had, even if I'm not. You know what? I want to be the best lover you ever had. So, baby, you need to teach me what you like, what you don't like. You know what? Slower, faster, firmer, softer. These are all, and not only, doing it, the actual sexual act, but also how you want to be manually stimulated, how you want to be orally stimulated. Some guys might be too rough orally, might be maybe not soft enough. It all depends, again, on your level of arousal, ladies. Maybe your guy just doesn't get it. And if he doesn't get it for you, you need to teach him and clue him in. So we're going to go back into the comparison aspect. Think about it, ladies. What do you compare on a daily basis? What do you compare about? Shauna just mentioned, yes, all women compare. Thanks for being honest, Shauna. I know they do. Don't want to hurt men's feelings, but you talk to women, you know what? The women that are more confident in themselves, they're going to be honest, and they're going to say, yeah, we compare. You know what? They talk to each other and compare. You know what? He licked me like this. He needs some work on this. Oh, my God. He didn't have a clue what he's doing. You talk to each other, ladies. And think about this. Not only sexually do you compare, ladies. Maybe it's just a female nature. I don't know. What else do you compare? Do you compare shoes, ladies? Do you compare how other women dress? What clothes you compare? Purses you compare? What about cars, houses, right? Some women are more materialistic than others, right? It might not always be materialistic things, but a lot of women compare a lot of things, right? You might compare food to one another, right? What's a better deal? You know what? Is this fruit fresher than another? So a lot of women do compare, right? Do you be honest with your man? This is, again, should you be honest in comparing, or can you sort of teach your man to be the best lover you've had and help him get it when it comes to you and pleasing you sexually and sensually? Can you, without saying, my other man used to do this. My other man did this. Excuse me. Because, ladies, how many times would you like, my ex-girlfriend did this to me and I loved it? You know what? my ex-girlfriend did this and I hated it. Oh my God, my ex-girlfriend did this better than you do it. What would you, I'm laughing, but it ain't funny, because a lot of women will be, fine, see if I ever do that again. I'll never have sex with you again. And there's some men that, yes, it will kill their ego. Excuse me. It'll kill their ego, and they'll go into self-destruct mode. Well, they'll, excuse me, distance themselves, and you know what? They'll sort of lick their wounds and feel sorry for themselves, instead of, you know what, picking themselves up by the bootstraps and saying, you know what, I want to be the best. Sorry, went down the wrong pipe. Looking at, now my eyes watering, sorry, how unprofessional, but this is me. Looking at those dynamics and looking at the comparison that you compare on all those elements and all those aspects to where, you know what, can you teach your man, you know what you like without comparing, right? We don't have to bruise anybody's egos by saying, you know, my ex was this, my ex was that, either gender, but you can say, I want you to do this. I want you to do this slower, faster, gentler, firmer, whatever it is. It could be manual stimulation. It could be oral sex. It could be actually vaginal intercourse, okay? Maybe some women are into anal play, right? And maybe you're not, and your guy loves it, and you're afraid to tell him no. These are all dynamics that I want you to be able to hit on and be able to communicate. Sorry, I might have to say goodnight. My voice is going nuts, so excuse me. Everybody have a good night. I apologize. But look at how you compare and how it'll work with your sex life. And teach your man to be the best lover you've ever had. Teach him to get it. Okay, everybody have a good night. Peace and love.